Hello wonderful people, how are you all today? I hope you're well. Back in the kitchen, yay! And I have to say I have got quite a lot of trepidation about today's video. I'm going to do a recipe with you, but I've never tried it before. Now normally when I share a recipe with you on here, it will be something that I've been having for years and love, or if it's something like a new veg to me or I'm experimenting, what I'll normally do is I'll experiment at home 2 or 3 times, change little bits here and there, what have you, and then when I'm really happy with it, that's when I'll make a video to share with you guys. Not so the case today, and that's largely because, well, I just thought it'd be quite fun to fly by the seat of my pants today, and I don't have a huge amount of the main ingredient to play with, but also I think I just want to encourage people to just try stuff, to experiment, to have a go. You don't need recipe books. I mean, I've got a whole chunk lined up there. Bless them, my family keep giving me recipe books. I don't use them because they're always too kind of complicated and with their sort of fancy pants ingredients that you have to go to the foot of the Himalayas to buy. Anyway, so yes, please be encouraged to experiment and have a go. Fingers crossed this works. So, in the last video you saw me grabbing that handful of fennel roots. And I'm sorry, I mistakenly said that it was Michelle who suggested it to me, and actually it was Heather. So I apologise for that, Heather, and thank you for the suggestion. After she'd made that suggestion, I immediately started to do a bit of research. Is it true? Can it possibly be true? And yes, we can eat our fennel roots. So, I'm just going to show you one of them that I've started to prepare. So you can see this is sort of soil level here. So this was obviously where the bulb was forming. It's really, really super duper tough. It doesn't look particularly appetizing at the moment. I'll show you a couple of the others. It doesn't particularly look appetizing. And I have to say, they've taken a really, really, really jolly good scrub. They're so skinny, I don't really want to peel them because then I'd lose half of it through peeling. So yeah, I've given them a really, really hard scrub. Now, from what I can gather, the roots are best eaten younger and more tender. But then you think, well, I don't want to dig up my plant just for the roots. But of course, what we could do, if this works today, is when we're harvesting our bulb. So if this works, I'm going to love it because I love the idea of my whole plant. It's another free meal, waste not, want not. Normally with my fennel, it wasn't a great year this year because of the drought and a lot of them bolted. But usually what I like to do is with the long stalks and the frondy ends, I'll harvest those before I harvest the bulb even, and use those chopped into salads, things like that over the summer and into the autumn. Then I harvest the bulb and make, my favourite, which is fennel risotto. Love, love, love it. But if at the same time that I was harvesting the bulb, if I harvested the roots, hopefully they wouldn't be quite so tough. You'd be doing that kind of harvesting in August, September, possibly into October. So these have been left in the ground for absolutely ages. Now, because they're so tough, I've decided probably the best thing to try with them to start with is a soup, which I'll blend. I like my blended soups anyway, but also hopefully it'll blend some of that toughness out. What's really interesting is, as I was scrubbing them, and even now, they smell like parsnips. It is the most bizarre thing. Occasionally when I was scrubbing nearer the top where the bulbs are, obviously I've chopped them off, I was getting the fennel waft. But scrubbing the roots, yeah, they smell like parsnips. So I've just got a small handful, I'll just show you. I've just got this sort of small handful of them. It's probably barely even a kilo there. I was thinking originally that I might add a potato for thickening, but they're so fibrous, I don't think they're going to need it. Because I want to really get an idea of the taste of how this is going to work, I'm going to keep this dead simple. I'm going to start off with an onion and some garlics, sweat them down in some oil like I normally do. Then add these to the stock. So that's the only ingredients I'm going to use today is an onion, some garlic, cloves. Oh, I've got 3 or 4 there. I'll probably chop them all in. They're great for me. This little handful of the roots and some stock. I need to get these chopped up. I think another way that would be really nice to have them if they were younger and more tender would be simply roasted. Definitely going to be trying that next year. But never mind next year, let's have a little play and an experiment with these ones. To start with, I've just sweated down an onion and a couple of cloves of garlic. What I didn't mention before and that I should have is normally if I make up a soup, I'll make up at least a litre of it, at least sort of 4, 5, 6 portions. Scoff some today, have some for leftovers, whack the rest in the freezer. But because I don't know how this is going to taste, I'm just going to make up half a litre, maybe 2 portions. And I think, generally speaking, if I'm trying new stuff and I'm really not sure, I'll make up a small amount, because the last thing I want to do is use up loads of other ingredients for something I hate. And I must say, they don't look particularly appetising, do they? They look somewhere between, I don't know, parsnips and artichokes. Anyway, in for a penny, in for a pound. So the onions are nice and soft now, and the garlic. I've tried to chunk them into littleish pieces. Sorry, the light's really poor at the moment. It's dark outside. Yeah, I've chunked them into little pieces. My goodness, I could have probably done with some kind of meat cleaver to get them chopped up. So in they go. And like I say, I'm not going to add any other flavouring to this, because the first time I have it, I want to experience that, just the flavour of the veggies. So in goes half a litre of stock. Actually, I think it's a little, I've done a little over half a litre, probably more like 700 mils, because I think this is going to need quite a while to simmer. Generally, for most veg, I probably simmer for about 20 minutes, but for this, I'm going to give it 30 minutes to start with and then come back and see, because, like I say, these are very, very woody and gnarly. Oh, I do love experimenting with my peasant food. Right. And like I say, it's quite fun to actually experiment live on camera, as it were. Right. Lid on, let it simmer for about half an hour. I'll come back and have a look and we'll see where we're at. So I simmered it for 30 minutes and then had a little bit of a poke, but it still seemed quite tough. So I carried on simmering it, so it's had 45 minutes now, and I think it's still quite tough. So whilst it was simmering, I was chatting with a friend. I'm going to blend it up now and see if that works, but as she was suggesting, I might need to strain it exactly as I would with my pea pod soup. So let's have a look. Let's give it a whiz up and see if that's enough to break down this fibrous stuff. Well, this is it blitzed. First little look. It's interesting texture. It looks a bit thinner than I would normally. Oh, there was a lump. Normally like a soup. There are. Look at that. There are some lumps. I reckon that's going to be so tough. So maybe it does need straining. But never mind that. Let's have a little taste to see if it's worth going to any extra effort. Eek! Moment of truth. Let's have a ladle full. I've no idea what to expect. the whole time it's been cooking, it just smells like parsnips and not fennel. And I can assure you that is fennel roots, not parsnips, because my parsnips aren't looking too great. Okay, shush and fuff. Oh, that's gorgeous. Mmm. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Wow, 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 wow. Oh my goodness. Mmm. Oh, I was not expecting that. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Mmm. Right, use your words, Vivi. The texture is beautiful. It's like somewhere between silk and velvet. Oh my goodness. Mmm. The taste. It's really hard to describe. If I was given this blind, I would not say it's fennel. I would think there's possibly parsnips in it. There's definitely a hint of parsnip. That's the weirdest thing ever. Mmm. Mmm. Tough bit. Ah, so this is going to be the issue. Let me just show you, sorry, it's come out of my mouth. Is that going to pick up? Yeah, really, really tough little bit. So I think it's probably a soup to strain. Oh, I don't want to wait to strain it. It's really beautiful. There's another bit. I'll chew that. It's going down. It's fine. It's definitely a hint of parsnip. There's almost a hint of mushrooms, which is really bizarre. Yeah, if I was given that and asked to guess what it is, actually just let me bring you around a bit, I'm stretching and straining. If I was given that and asked to guess what it is, I would say it's mushroom and parsnip. how completely bizarro. But, that is annoying, those tiny, tiny, tiny little strands of toughness. Okay, I'm going to say fennel root soup is a huge success. That's a beautiful taste. I can't get over it. It definitely needs to be strained though. I'll do it through something quite open, like one of my big sieves, which should catch those little bits. But otherwise, well, that's how you learn, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Who would have thought it? Thank you so much, Heather, for alerting me, thank you, alerting me to the fact that I can eat my fennel roots. That is definitely going to be on the menu from now on. Every time I harvest a fennel for the bulb, I'll be harvesting the roots at the same time and making up little batches of soup too. Really super gorgeous. I actually can't get over it. Normally you guys don't see me at this stage, like I was saying. I would normally experiment before showing you first. So there are many moments in the kitchen where I eat something and I go, oh, it's gorgeous. I had no idea it's going to be so gorgeous. Bear in mind, literally all this was 2 cloves of garlic, an onion, a handful of fennel roots and some stock. There's no seasoning in here. I use reduced salt stock. I don't actually need seasonings because I've not used them for years, so my palate's okay. But that is so full of taste. It's really subtle and delicate, but it's there. Right, after that massive thumbs up from me, I think it's time for me to get straining the rest of it because I want to have this now for my supper. Oh, yay! I'm so excited. I love it when something turns out well. Free food, what is not to love? So if nothing else from today that you take away, please take away that idea of just experiment, have a go, chuck a few veggies in, see what happens, because you never know. You may come up with something really, really, really scrummy, yummy, gorgeous, like fennel root soup. Yes, I'm going to have another mouthful. Wow. So good. So, oh, another little fibre. Yes, it needs draining. Okay, I'm going to say cheerio to all for now. I need to do some straining and some washing up and some eating. But I hope I will see you all again really, really soon. In the meantime, have fun experimenting in your kitchens. Just go wild with your gorgeous produce. Take care, everyone.